Hi everybody, it's Jules by Jude here, and I have another tutorial, and it's a little bit different. I was working on a cane and this is what I came up with. Yes, I'm not the first one to come up with this, but I liked this color so much when I was working with it. I was like, I have to stop here. I'm going to make this. So this is Fimo, and Fimo is a clay. And it's a little harder than the clay I'm used to working with. Sculpey. But I'll tell you that it's different in this arena as well. It did not mesh together and sort of marbleize. It separated more and it looked more like a stone. So thus I came out with, this is a blue and translucent. Okay, dark blue translucent, and this is a finished product of that clay in a bezel cup, basic metal. Now it twirls around, and what I'm going to do here, this particular bezel, is I'm going to put something else in here besides polymer clay and resin, okay? But I do like this, and I'm going to do, oh, I've already done, sorry, this piece as well. Does not have another back. This is the back. It's been resin, UV resin has been used on all three pieces actually. So once I realized I did the translucent, I didn't want to continue with making another translucent piece. So I have these sheets that I can use as a veneer on other pieces. Okay, so I'll move over to this piece here, and this is what we have is the Fimo blue again, dark blue, and the white, not the translucent. Because what happened was when I baked this, it changed drastically, and I was like, wait a minute, now it doesn't look like sodalite. So now I want it to look a little more like sodalite. Now it doesn't look like sodalite at all, and it's still beautiful. So I made this piece. Again, I'll do this in a different way. This is a double-sided bezel cup, and it's beautiful, and it just kind of hangs like that, and you can use it either way. So I think that's cool. I did get this from a dealer that I bought some of their store out, and so I cannot refer you to where these bezels were originally bought, so I apologize for that. But these other ones that I have here can be purchased on eBay or Amazon, and they're called bezel cups, and they're ready to go for whatever you want to use them for. Okay, now we have this. This is the Fimo, and this is Fimo, and we're going to combine them together to make something like this, and hope it all works out. There we go. Now, I did not run any of this through my machine. All I did was cut these up. It's about 2 ounces on one and about a half an ounce to an ounce on the white. And you can see that there's a lot more blue than there is white. Okay, so I'm going to take the better part of that away right now until I can see what we got here, because I do want those streaks. And you can do a partial combination here, or you could do the entire combination. That will be up to you. Because you're the artist and you will be making your own call. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way so I have a little bit more room to work with. Okay? And making your call means, well, how much blue do I want? How much white do I want? And it's kind of like a, let's see as we go. And that's how I do it. Okay, see. Because this is just a design, it's not really a scientific, you know, 2 ounces this, 2 ounces that, but I give you that just to give you an idea that it's not like, you know, whole brick versus something like just a partial brick. And that way, because when you're looking at it through the camera's eyes, you might not realize that, you know, it isn't as much clay as it looks like. So you don't have to go with the whole brick idea, or you can, however you choose. Now, I won't put this through my pasta machine because I don't want it to blend. I want it to stay sectional here as much as possible. Yet I want to control it to some degree. Now this is my harder blade here, stiffer blade. And I'm going to continue to roll this out till I get my desired piece, okay? And I will originally show you, because I am working on a piece, another tutorial on something I'm working on in the future here, and we'll see how it goes. I hate to say, you know, ahead of time what I'm working on, because every time I work with something I look at it as a test. So if I go ahead and tell you something, you might get upset. Oh, where's that video at? You know, like, that didn't work for me. Like, as much as you might want to see my flops, and I just thinking, because this is like the third or fourth take already, and I do know how to edit, somewhat, I'm practicing, but I don't want to be there for 6 hours editing out everything, so sometimes it's easier just to start over, everybody. And that's where I was at today, so I don't mind editing. It's just I don't want to edit the entire thing. Now sprinkle a little bit of blue here in there and a little white here and there. Look at that. See how that blended in? See, broke up that white. And now we see this, there's a void here of white, and we want to put in some white. See that? Alright. It's not as natural looking as I wished, so I'll just keep adding till I get to something that looks more natural to me, my eye, than others. It's kind of like a splash, and it's cool. I've seen other people do this. I'm not new. This is not a new technique, but to me, it's kind of new, and I know I've seen some women do some imitation turquoise and whatnot, and so at this point, that's not what I'm doing here. I was when I seen this. This still reminds me of sodalite. So that's what stopped me in my tracks, because I love rocks and minerals. And I was like, whoa, I gotta make something with that. But I didn't realize it was translucent and was going to change on me. Now with the white did not change, you'll see. Where the translucent did, the white did not. So therefore in lies the difference between, and how much of a difference can it make to have translucent in your products when you're making them. Excuse me. I'll be honest with you, I didn't realize it. I'm probably glad I did realize it before I started on the original cane I was going to make, because I do not believe I was planning on using translucent. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Now, I'm getting closer to something that I'd like to use. So I'm going to stop here. I might be out of range here, but I have considerable amount of clay left here, guys. And let's see here. I'm gonna just, this is what we call veneer, so it's not, doesn't need to be of any great, you know, thickness. Sometimes it does, but it's about the same thickness, and it's fairly thin. So I'm going to move the rest of this clay over, and I'm just going to work with this piece here. Okay. What I'll do at this point is I'm going to flip it around and look at it, and I'm looking for my piece. You know, what my section. Which part do I want to use? And that's what I'm doing now in my head. I kind of like this section here, so that's what I'm going to work with. I'm going to get my blade, and before I change my mind 6 times, I'm going to get this piece out of here, because I will just continuously change my mind. I guess I'm a woman, I get to do that if I want. Isn't that the saying? So now what I'll do is I'll take my bezel here. Let's see. What I'm going to do here is probably go in this direction. And I'm just separating all my my pieces of clay from that piece, so that I have just that piece to work with. I mean, I haven't done away with this clay over here. I just moving it out of my way, and I now have my piece of veneer that I'd like to use. Now what I'd like to do is fill this bezel, because I don't want to fill it with my veneer. I will fill this bezel cup with my scrap, and once it's filled, I will lay my veneer over top of it. Now, because I'm working with unbaked clay, is pressed down on it. I'm looking for my block. There it is. There we go. So, I can do it this way too. Press down, because I really don't need it domed. Okay? I'm going to dome it with my veneer. And I'm just going to take out all of my sides and extra clay as much as possible. I'll show you that again just in case it didn't get in the video. I keep shooting out of the space I need to be in. I apologize for that, so I'm going to show you again what I just did, just in case. So I took my plexiglass stamp block and I pushed down after I filled my bezel cup with clay, scrap clay. Then I proceeded to take all of the excess off so that I could have as flat as top as possible, so that when I put my veneer on, that will be my dome. So hopefully when I look back at this video, I'll see that. Now, this is the piece I've chosen. All that is left to do is to choose what actual piece of this is actually going to go on there. Now, what I'd like to do is place this just like that, because I want that section of blue. I want it to represent as much blue as possible in here, because there is a lot of white going on, but I like it. And now what I've done is I've placed it on top of my bezel cap, which is filled with my scrap clay. And I then am going to take off the excess of this veneer. And make sure it's applied properly and evenly as possible. And shaving off the excess, as you can see. And that is what I have done with the other pieces. And this will stay true to its color. So I will show you what, you know, how to dome your resin. If not, look back on some of your videos that I have here, and I'll show you on those videos how to dome with your resin. All that's left to do here now is to bake this piece at 250 for 45 minutes. Do a quick check on it. Make sure it's the consistency that you want, which should be hard. And the Fimo will definitely stick together a little differently than your Sculpey. Your Sculpey is very, very, very soft, and there's a need at times for soft clay. So at this point, clean it up, stick it in the oven, take it out, sand it, and then dome it with resin if you'd like to, like I did with these pieces. And this is the veneer used for each of these pieces. Okay, and I will give you the piece that we just did. then I would probably add more white to that. No, I'm wrong. Wouldn't. Okay, so believe it or not, this is a very short video for y'all to check out. And happy Memorial Day weekend. Signing off, Jules by Jude. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, and share. Thank you. God bless. Have a good holiday.